Hola chicos, ¿cómo están? Bueno, este es el video que les dije que les iba a grabar para repasar o terminar más bien la unidad número 5, que sería la unidad 10. Perdón, la unidad 11. Well, the first part is the passive voice, that is called also past passive. So if you hear passive voice is the same as past passive. So, well, I already explained this. It's just to make a review about this. What is important for you to know, it's that we have to follow this structure. The passive voice is going to be compounded by the past time of the verb to be plus the participle form. Like in this case, we have where is the past participle form of the verb to be, and downloaded is the past participle of the verb in this case. So this is the most important that you need to take into account. We did this exercise. That is, remember, you have to put here in the spaces or in the blanks, what you have to put is this one over here, the past time of be, and the participle form of this verb. Remember, participle form is different to the past form. They are different. For example, in this case, is sold. In this case, it's the same. But in the case of the verb give, the past time is gave and the participle is given. So they are different. In the case of write, it's the same. Write, wrote, and written. So they are different. When they are regular, like in the case of use, the past is going to be the same as the participle used. You can check at the end of your books, you have the list. Well, let's see here what you have to take into account is that you need to analyze if the noun of the sentence is singular or not. If it is singular, you use was. If it is plural, you use were. You have to use were. In this case, tickets is plural, so you have to use were sold. In this case, artist is plural. In this other case, is singular because singer is singular, so you have to use was, and so on. Let's continue. Next part. Well, here we have this conversation, and as you know, these are some tips that we can use in different situations. In this case, about instructions to start, or at the beginning of a conversation, we'll have to give instructions. We say to start, we can say the first thing you do is this or that. When you continue with the instructions, you can use the words then, after that. Also, at the end of the instructions, you can say to finish, or the last thing you do is. It works, for example, when you are cooking, that you have a recipe to follow. So you say to start, you need flour, you need sugar, eggs, etc. The first thing you do is put the eggs on a bowl. Then, in this other case, you have to mix them, the eggs, or after that, you have to put the sugar. To finish, put the cake in the oven. The last thing you do is eat the cake. So it works very well when you are doing a recipe, you're following a recipe. Also, some indications when you have to fix something, an object that you bought, for example. And remember, guys, it's important to use these tips in daily conversations, according to the topic you are studying. Well, this is listening. Listening, so it's not necessary to do it. It's about the same topic. So let me continue to the next part. In here we have vocabulary. And it is about matching the phrases with the pictures. So we have announce a tour, appreciate music, compose music, entertain an audience, perform a song, produce a song, record a song, release a new album. All these phrases they have to do, with music. Announce a tour is an artist or a band that they announce that they have a tour. When people appreciate or people express that they like the music. Compose, when the artist is writing the song. Entertain an audience is the moment of the concert. Perform a song, when the singer is singing or the band is playing and singing the song. Produce is the person who produces. You know that an artist needs a producer. It could be a person or a company. Record is when they go to a studio and they record the song. Release a new album, when the album is going to be sold. Here you can see the match. That is this. So you can check the options. Number 1, that is announce, is gonna be the C. Number 1 is gonna be, picture number 1 is gonna be compose music. As you see, she is writing the song. 2, the option G. Number 2, the option G is over here, record. They go to a studio and they record. 3 is F, so it's produce. They are using computers and technology in order to produce the song. 4 is going to be H, release the new album. So here you can see it by internet or in an announcement or ad or something like that. Number 5 is gonna be announce a tour. So she is giving information about the tour. Number 6, option E, perform. In this scenario, she is singing. 7 is D. 7 is D. That is, excuse me about that. 7 is D. That is entertain the audience. So they do movements, they dance, they do other activities in this scenario. Number 8 is B. That is appreciate music, when you listen to music and you express, as I told you, that you like the music. What we have here is a conversation where they introduce the new grammar topic. That is this one over here. And it's the use of the present perfect with the use of yet and already. Yet and already, there are phrases or key words that we use in the present perfect. What is present perfect? It's a verbal tense that we use to talk about activities that started in the past, they continue through the present, and they don't have an end. They don't end. Well, at least in this moment, we don't know if they are going to end. So this is the use of the present perfect. Yet and already. Yet is todavía and already is ya. For example, I can say, I already did my homework. Yo ya hice mi tarea. But in this case, I am applying it already in simple present. In present perfect, it's going to be kind of different, like in this example that we have here. I've already gotten a ticket. So let me read for you and explain. In questions, use yet when you expect the action to have happened. Have you gotten a ticket yet? Has he released his album yet? It is, I told you that yet means ya. So we say, ¿ya compraste los tiquetes? ¿Ya has comprado los tiquetes? Sería como la traducción literal. ¿Ya has comprado los tiquetes? Él ya ha lanzado su álbum. En español, o al menos en nuestro idioma, aquí en Costa Rica o Latinoamérica, nosotros no usamos ese tipo de tiempo verbal. ¿Ya has comprado los tiquetes? Nosotros usamos el pasado simple. ¿Ya compraste los tiquetes? ya lanzó el álbum ese artista, pero en España, por ejemplo, ellos sí lo usan. Ya has comprado los tiquetes, ya has lanzado el álbum. En inglés también se usa y esta es la forma de expresarlo. Ese ya, que sería yet, va al final de la pregunta, en este caso, cuando usamos yet. Entonces, ¿qué es importante en este primer chart? Que el yet va al final en la pregunta. The second part. In responses, responses are answers. Already, that is the other, means the action has happened earlier. Yes, I've already gotten a ticket. Yes, he's already released it. Él ya lo ha comprado el tiquete, él ya lo ha lanzado el álbum. Cuando yo estoy expresando que la situación ya sucedió, uso también already, que viene a tomar el mismo significado, pero en un contexto un poco distinto porque esto es respuesta y esto es pregunta. Entonces acá lo voy a colocar entre el auxiliar que es have y el verbo que es gotten. El auxiliar que es has y el verbo que es released. Entonces aquí en la respuesta lo coloco en la mitad o en el medio. Then it says in responses, again in answers, yet means the action hasn't happened but you expect it to do. So in responses, when we have yet, esto lo que dice es que significa que la acción no ha sucedido. Aquí es donde este yet toma un significado de todavía, como cuando yo digo no, todavía no, que es lo que pasa acá. I haven't gotten a ticket yet. Entonces dice todavía no lo he comprado. Entonces vean la diferencia entre esta y esta. Todavía no lo he comprado. ¿Ya compraste el tiquete? Aquí significa como ya, pero acá si es en respuesta significa todavía. Y vean que va al final de la oración. No, I haven't gotten a ticket yet. No, no lo he comprado todavía. No, not yet. He hasn't released it yet. Esa es otra forma de decirlo. No, no todavía. Si yo digo no, not yet, es perfect. Esto podría ser una respuesta nada más, pero aún le puedo agregar esto otro. He hasn't released it yet. Ok, ¿qué es importante acá? Dependiendo del tipo de statement, que sería un statement, puede ser affirmative, negative or question. Si es question, como en este caso, entonces el yet significa, como les dije antes, have you gotten a ticket yet? ¿Ya compraste el tiquete? ¿Ya has comprado el tiquete? Ya. Pero igual no se trata de traducirlo. Más que todo lo que quisiera que le pongan atención es que en la pregunta lo colocamos al final. En la respuesta vamos a usar el already. Si la respuesta es positiva, usamos already y lo colocamos en medio. Y usamos el yet si la respuesta es negativa. Entonces, si ustedes ven acá, already para afirmativo, yes, y yet para negative, no. Y la diferencia es que el already va en el medio y el yet va al final. Ese es básicamente el uso de estas dos keywords, que son frases muy usuales que se usan en el present perfect. Otra cosa, bueno, el present perfect ya ustedes lo han estudiado. Aquí lo que estamos estudiando es el uso de estas dos key phrases o keywords. ¿Qué es importante el present perfect? ¿Cuál es la estructura? Recuerden que el present perfect se forma con el auxiliar have or has. Yo voy a usar have para los pronombres I, you, we, and they. Y voy a usar has para los pronombres he, she, it. Eso es lo primero que debemos recordar del present perfect. Lo segundo es que voy a conjugar un verbo en participio. Otra vez, check the end part of your book. You have the participles. So you have these structures for question. Have you gotten? This is the structure. In the case of questions, you have auxiliary, pronoun, verb, and the complement of the sentence. Of course, if it is a question, you have a question mark at the end. Affirmative, pronoun or subject of the sentence, auxiliary, this contraction with this sound that is I've, is I have already. So we have subject or pronoun, auxiliary. Then in this case we have already, but not always. We're going to have already. And the participle form, and then we have the complement. In the case of the third person singular, we have she, he, or it, and we have he has. It's not his, it's he has, and the participle form. The negative, you just have to put not. In this practice, well, in here we don't have the answers because they could be different. It says write sentences in the present perfect with already and yet. And we have to use this information. He has already written 4 new songs. So here we have this information. Write 4 new songs. Record 2 songs for his album. Release his new album, entertain, etc. What you have to do here is using any pronoun that you want, he, she, they. If you talk about the members of a band, you can use they. If you are talking about an artist, you can use he or she. If you use he or she, you have to use has. If it is affirmative, you use already. If it is negative, you use yet at the end of the sentence. And what else? The verb that you need to conjugate is this: write, record, release, entertain, give, announce. Write is this one, written. Record is a regular verb, so you say recorded. Release is regular, so you say released. Entertain also is regular, so you say entertained. Give is irregular, so you say given. And announce is regular, so you use announced. And you say, for example, using announce, he has already announced his retirement. If it is negative, you can put he or she hasn't, like here, she hasn't released, she hasn't released his new album, and so on. You can write the sentences and you can send me the sentences that you want. All right, the next part, well, this is reading comprehension. So please, guys, read this answer. I'm gonna show you the answers so you can read and check. Here you can see them. So these are answers for the questions. In the past, how did artists become a successful and well-known? And the answer is record companies market and promoted their music. Record companies marketed and promoted their music. And then you can read the other questions, and these are the answers. And I'm going to explain the next part. That is the writing part. In this case, you have to write, and as you know, is the same as always. You have to write, it says write a review your opinion about something. In this case, about an album, about a song. Jude, did you have recommended? Use the questions and model to help you. What's the name of the album or the song? When was it released? What did you like about the albums or song? Is there anything you don't like about it? Why would you recommend it? So guys, these questions are just for guide. This is a guide for you to write a paragraph similar to this. So taking into account these questions, you are going to write something like this. And finally, well, as you know, we have a listening exercise and the speaking. But I think that is all. If you have any question after watching this video, just ask me. Remember, next Saturday we're going to have the quiz of the unit 6, the last unit, and part of the unit 5, that is this. Thank you very much. See you next week. Well, see you on Saturday. Bye.